but it's something that it's just happened. And we have this funny trolling of Donald Trump on J.D. Vance. President Trump surprised J.D. Vance by calling in to ask a question at his town hall in Michigan. How brilliant is Donald J. Trump? And of course, if you ask the question, if you say, Donald Trump is calling to ask how brilliant is Donald J. Trump, he's a narcissist. Yeah, but you know who else? You know who else was a narcissist? Let me see if I can do my magic here. Yeah, Tony Stark. Everybody agrees that Tony Stark, the personality, the character himself, is a narcissist. But you love him either way. He's nonchalant about it. He does it. In the end, he gets the job done. In the end, he's charming. In the end, he's vulnerable. But you know that he has this huge shield, no pun intended, around his persona, which is which can be quite narcissistic, and it just doesn't fade away the moment that he decides to go full Iron Man and stuff. So yeah, maybe this is a great analogy. Not defending every narcissist, of course, because again, it can be such a romantic figure, a narcissist. Yeah, it is, because they can be alluring, they can be manipulative, they can love bomb you as well. And all because, well, if they are manipulative narcissists, of course, again, we could talk about that for hours. But you have to understand nuance. And sometimes, for example, I can display traits, narcissistic traits. And of course, if just the fact, you have to understand the fact, it's like just being an actor. Being an actor requires having a bit of narcissism. Yeah, it's simple. Doing this, being in front of a camera, myself, needs a healthy dose of ego and narcissism. There's no other way you can pull this off without that. It's part of the job. It's part of the job description. So as long as you, let's say, you control it, why is my system not working? You know, this kind of things that happen. Live. Working again. Let's watch the clip. So,
Senator, you're going to want to sit down for this one.
Oh, no.
Not unlike Beetlejuice. If you invoke the former president's names too many times in a row, he's going to want to weigh in on what is being said about him. And we have a call right now from former President Donald John Trump. He wants to weigh in. Mr. President, I know there's a little bit of a delay. Can you hear us? And what is your question for the senator?
Well, I can hear you, Chris, and I do have a question, and I think it'll be quite an interesting one. The answer should be easy. How brilliant is Donald J. Trump?
I think that Vance already expected something like that. It's trolling, of course. This is trolling of the highest level. It's Donald Trump trolling his VP pick. This is a real deal. I'm gonna troll him, and you could say, oh, maybe they got it arranged, but I saw Vance's reaction, and it looked legit to me. Let me see. We're gonna move in closer, just in case.
How brilliant is Donald J. Trump?
Yeah, it looked fairly authentic. Oh, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I also gave Kamala a pass sometimes.
Take your time. Think about it.
Well, first of all, sir, this is supposed to be undecided voters. I would hope that I have your vote, of all people. But here's first of all, sir, of course, you're very brilliant.
This is something about J.D. Vance. I've told you that I have no idea who J.D. Vance was when he was big. Who's this guy? Zero idea who is him. I found out about his book, Hillbilly Elegy, and the debate was just amazing to see. Not only the interviews, I was going through all this stuff, trying to keep up with videos until I decided to make this live show. And I hadn't the opportunity to analyze his interviews, but I saw his interviews. It was a very solid, both a speaker and debater. And it was at the debate, at the actual debate, I said, no, this is the real deal. And especially that very first answer that you remember, that was 2 minutes, and the first 1 minute and 45 seconds, he told a story that was so tight in time. It's like he's a great storyteller. I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy is an extraordinary speaker. It's top-notch debater, but Vance it's something that is out of this world. And this answer was so tight as well that I just said that, well, yeah, he is the right one.
And we both agree. We both agree that it's important to have very smart people running our government. But here's the thing about President Trump, that aside of you, sir, if you'll forgive me for telling this story, that I think often people don't see. And of course, I got my beautiful wife here in the front row. And one of my favorite moments with President Trump is we were hosting an event for him near our home in Cincinnati a few months ago. And of course, my wife was a little bit nervous to really, talk to the president of the United States. And he asked her, what do you think about your husband being in public service? And she gives, if you know my wife, a very diplomatic answer. Sir, he really cares about the people of Ohio. He's thrilled to be able to serve them, and I'm happy to support him however I can. And President Trump chuckles and goes, yeah, my wife hates it too. and the thing that it did is it just immediately broke the barrier. And it wasn't the former president. It was just a person talking to my wife. And I think you guys were able to have a nice conversation. But that ability to relate to anybody in any environment, I think that's the true brilliance of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, that is hands down the best way to answer any question, with a story. I mean, Vance is a natural storyteller, and storytellers rule the world.